Peace, peace, peace. Good morning, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody falling through. Happy Friday to the people, man. Happy Friday. Hope y'all have a good, productive day. Um, Everything you want to accomplish, man. I hope it get accomplished today for real. We're gonna chop it up for a second, man. A little Friday fun day is what I call it. Friday fun day, man. Friday fun day, big dog. Get this coffee up in me. Shout out to the moderators. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Patreon members. I really appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to the supporters. Follow me on Instagram at Dime Game Division. Follow me on Instagram at Dime Game Division. My man said I'm about to hit these arms. You got to keep them arms right. You know what I mean? You got to keep them arms right. It's getting a little nippy outside, man. So, wintertime, you want to bulk up. Summertime, you cut it. So, you put that weight on in the wintertime, you dig? And it's all good. Excuse me. I should start off with a story, huh? This is one of the mornings. Friday fun day, man. I should start off with a story. We'll see. It'll come to me. Man. But staying solid, man. Staying solid. Look, that's one of the hardest things to do in life, man, is to stay solid. Stay solid, man. Through the good times and the bad times, to stay solid. Stay solid to yourself. Stay solid in relationships. Just stay solid in general. Because, a lot of people got this crazy mentality. What up, Ralph? What up, nigga? A lot of people got this mentality, dog, that, you know what? I'm going to match energies with people, right? So if somebody did me grimy, I'm going to do them grimy. If somebody's scandalous to me, I'm going to be scandalous to them. And I don't necessarily agree with that because you're walking around with the spirit of revenge on you, dog. And that's a real nasty, trifling energy and shit if you really think about it. How can you focus when you got revenge on your mind? I remember when I was a young guy, when I was a young man, little teeny bopper. And, you going through the trials and tribulations of life. I was the type of dude that if I felt like I was picked on or if I felt like I was wronged by somebody, whether friend or foe, I couldn't go to sleep at night until I made that right. Whether we had to talk it out, whether we had to throw hands, slap box, whether we had to pop lock, whatever the fuck it was, that was my mentality. I swear to God, I couldn't go to sleep. I remember as a young nigga knocking on niggas' door 9 o'clock at night over some shit that happened in school that morning. Real talk. This was Snapple Top facts. And I don't know if that was good or bad, but at the end of the day, I couldn't go to sleep at night with certain things on my mind. Like if I felt like a nigga played me, but I had to grow up out of that shit too. Like if you can't check a nigga on the spot, or hell, check a woman on the spot or whatever, you check it on the spot and you keep it moving. But all of that retroactive getting back at people, I mean, that's kind of corny to me. Not to say that you got to be best friends with somebody, because that's not the case, but you don't need a lot of enemies in this world, man. Truth be told. Like, you don't, man. Life is hard enough as it is. Life is challenging enough, rather. I like to use the word challenge. It is tough, but life is a challenge, and it's filled with challenges through the duration of your life. So my thing is, dog, why create a bunch of enemies in this lifetime, man? You know what I'm saying? You can stay on this side of the street. They can stay on that side of the street. That's why I didn't like that 50 Cent Ja Rule thing that happened the other night. They got into it again. And I'm like, dog, you got two black men from the hood, right? That was able to create generational wealth for themselves and their family. What's the problem, my nigga? And I understand it with some street shit and all of that, but dog, you're talking about 20 years ago. Maybe longer than that, where a lot of that shit happened, dog. You know, and them niggas got into it on social media again, and Eric Gotti got involved, and 50 Cent ain't letting nothing go. I'm like, dog, life should be good. But when you're dealing with niggas that never had shit, like 50 Cent, I like 50 Cent. I like what he stand on. I do. But at the end of the day, we talking about a grown man that denounced his own son. I'm going to say that one more time. We talking about a grown man that denounced his own son in front of the world. But y'all be the same people come up in my chat room talking about black men are the most involved fathers according to the CDC. Dog, let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck what my kids do. They'll forever get my love. I don't give a fuck what their mothers do. It got nothing to do with the child. I don't give a fuck about no money. Y'all don't think I've been through every situation possible with kids and children, mothers, and all of that. And I don't talk about it because I don't run the child support channel. I've never been on child support, but at the end of the day, I don't run a paternity test or child support channel. So I don't talk about that shit a lot. But let me tell you something. I've been through everything imaginable, man. You know what I mean? I've been through times where I couldn't locate my own child. But that was just a season. And I had to take accountability too myself. You know what I mean? These things are tough. But y'all ain't never, I've been online a little over 3 years. I'm talking about with my own channel. Y'all ain't never hear me get online and talk about my kids' moms. Not one time. Not once. Not one iota. Not one iota. And I stand on that business, man. And I never will. I don't give a fuck. They can do what they want. But at the end of the day, I'll never do no corny shit like that, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's about what you standing on. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Real talk. So at the end of the day, you talking about 50 Cent is a petty dude. He don't let nothing go. But that Ja Rule 50 Cent shit is whack, man. I'm like, both of you niggas have milked the game for what it was. You know what I'm saying? You got two black men from the ghetto, man, from the hood that made millions, amassed millions of dollars, man, tens of millions, maybe hundreds of millions, man. And y'all niggas are in their 40s. Ja Rule is 45 years old. 50 Cent is around that age too. And y'all niggas still online beefing. And then these will be the same niggas that'll talk about the youth, which is very odd to me. These will be the same fucking niggas that'll talk about the youth. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with these young niggas? Well, look at their examples, man. Seriously. What if Warren Buffett and Bill Gates had Twitter fingers? Real talk. What if Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk was on Instagram going back and forth? People will be like, what's wrong with these dudes? But with black men, it's expected for us not to get along. I'm gonna be honest, it's expected. See, a lot of white guys, they can sue the fuck out of each other. Because that's what white boys do with money. They sue each other all day. They got that kind of money to go through litigation and drag it out and all that. A lot of white guys can sue each other. They can have active lawsuits and get on the golf court. The golf course rather, and play rounds of golf. They probably just got finished doing the deposition. And they can go shoot golf that night because they don't have them same kind of egos like we got as black men. You know, our egos are really hurting us, man. That Ja Rule 50 Cent shit, it had its moment in time 20 years ago. It had its moment. I'm like, y'all niggas almost 50. No pun intended. And don't nobody see nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they got to be best friends. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they got to do business with each other. I'm not saying that they got to get each other Christmas gifts. But y'all niggas almost 50 years old talking about some shit that happened 20 years ago. And y'all done made millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? This is insanity, man. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people took sides in that beef. And I was like, man, I can't hate on any black man getting money. I ain't going to take sides. You got two black men making millions of dollars. Truth be told, why would I take sides with rappers? And honestly, if I was on fire on the side of the road, y'all think 50 Cent will help me? I'm just asking a question. If I was on fire on the side of the road and I needed help, y'all think 50 Cent will stop and help? No, that nigga don't give a fuck about me. So why would I take sides in their beef? And a lot of people did that. I'm like, y'all bugging, man. Like, let them two men figure that shit out. Everybody turned their back on Ja Rule. I'm like, man, that's a black man getting money. What's the problem? My man said, I'll be dead. I'll be dead, dead. I wouldn't just be dead. I'll be dead, dead. I'm going to be honest. But niggas pick sides anyway. Like, oh, I'm not going to listen to Ja Rule music. You was just listening to his music 3 months ago. What's the problem? Oh, well, 50 Cent. Act like, man, niggas be too invested in that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I think it's corny, man. Two black men getting a lot of money, feeding their families, putting their kids through college. You know what I mean? And this is the part of hip hop I'm fed up with. Real talk. I'm fed up with that part of hip hop. I'm fed up with it, dog. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with the part of hip hop that at the end of the day, they send their kids through private school. I'm talking about these rappers. They send their children to private school while they tell your kids to trap or die. You know what I'm saying? Their kids got private tutors and everything legit while they tell your kids to trap or die. You know what I'm saying? I'm fed up with that part. Y'all want to know why I listen to Kevin Gates? Because he a family man. You know, he a little ill dude too, but I rock with Gates because he a family man. And I respect that. I respect that. Everywhere he go, every Kevin Gates concert I went to, his wife was right there. I can respect that in a man. He ain't trying to be nothing that he not. And he a Aki. So I definitely respect the Ox. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I'm fed up with that part of hip hop, dog. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not digging it, man. I'm not digging it, man. I'm not digging it at all. At all. You know. And that's the hypocrisy of rap music. That's the hypocrisy of rap music, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest. You know, and I'm a hip hop fan. Don't get it twisted. I love hip hop, but that's the inherent contradiction of it is that it's not really helping our culture as black men. Rap music has made a couple black men billionaires. It's made a lot of black men millionaires. But other than that, it wasn't the best for our culture. You You know what I'm saying? Look how hip hop disrespects women. Name another art form of art that disrespects the women of that culture. And don't say porn. Porn is not an art. And porn ain't disrespectful either. Let's just be honest. Name another art form that disrespects children. I mean, hip hop is really promoting black genocide, man. I'm gonna be honest, man. It's really promoting black genocide. Ain't a lot of positive rappers, there's a few, but don't nobody buy their album. So, you know, name another art form that disrespects the women of their culture, man. Anywhere around the world, go. Around the world. Because you can't. Because you can't, man. Because you can't. And to think that this doesn't have an impact on the youth and the culture, that doesn't have its impact on the women, that's a damn lie. That's a goddamn lie. That's a damn lie. Everything else has its impact. So just because a few guys made $1 billion and they didn't make that money off rap music was the vehicle. They didn't get the $1 billion out of rap. So it's not like it's that kind of money in rap music. We don't own nothing. Black men created hip hop. You know, really hip hop started from the reggae movement, but that's a different story. Black men created hip hop, dominate hip hop, and we don't own nothing. That's very embarrassing. That's very embarrassing. There's no other way to put it. It's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing. Black men dominate the NBA. We got one black owner, and that's Michael Jordan. We dominate the NFL. It's not one black owner. Barely can get a black coach in the NFL. They got to create a whole Rooney Rule. But we think this stuff is Gucci. Like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Name another group of men that have created something, dominated the shit, and they don't have the majority of ownership. I mean, maybe I'm misinformed. If I'm misinformed, I'll retract that statement. Name another art form, name another group of men that's being dominated in something that they created. I mean, it's not a right or wrong answer. I'm not doing that this morning. I just want to know the facts. I just want to know the facts. That's it. I just want to know the facts. Name another group of men that can be canceled, and they tried to cancel Lil Baby. You know what I mean? And first of all, what Lil Baby said was out of line. It's one thing to have your opinion on the LGBT community, but once you start talking about HIV and all, I mean, he was out of line for that comment. He was out of line. He was wrong for that. And he should, he was right to apologize. He was wrong for that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially a guy in his position. Yeah, my bad, the baby, not Lil Baby. Yeah, him. He was wrong for that comment, man, because he took it too far. You can have your opinion, but once you start getting into the HIV and all of that, it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? Save that for the barbershop, bro. Like I say, name another group of men that have created something and is dominated and don't own nothing. So it's very embarrassing, man. It's very embarrassing. Very embarrassing. I know a lot of people don't agree, but it's embarrassing. Because if that was the norm, why can't we name other groups of men that's being dominated in something that they created? That's very odd to me. That's very odd to me, man. To the point where a black man can be canceled. It's something that he created. And a lot of these guys are cool with a car and a chain because they like that. They okay with a chain on and a watch and a big booty hoe twerking. They okay with that. And then 30 years later, when you see the rappers at a concert and they ain't got no teeth in their mouth and they still spinning on their head, you realize, well, damn, you ain't fight for ownership. I mean, you got some old school rappers that still look good. You got Big Daddy Kane, you got Rakim and stuff. If y'all ain't never been to one of these old school concerts and see these guys, they be missing teeth. Their shoes be bent up. I'm gonna be honest. And that's because hip hop is not like it has a union. It doesn't have none of that. Medical, dental. Those guys got to do shows and concerts to get money. It's very embarrassing, man. It's very embarrassing. Very embarrassing. So, probably a little bit too much on Friday, right? Too heavy for Friday? You know what I'm saying? It's too heavy for Friday. I know. It's kind of like women in the weave, right? Like a lot of dudes talk about black women wearing weave. Y'all know who dominate that? The Asians. Black women spend billions of dollars on hair care products and stuff like that. Although you have black hair care companies, for the most part, I see these women buying that stuff from Asians. I see they getting their hair, they feet and their nails done. They feet and their nails done by Asians. Same Asians that disrespect them. Very odd to me. Very odd to me. Very odd to me, man. My man said his chest not checked. It's facts. So anyway, hip hop has been toxic in many, many ways. Many, many ways, man. It has been. It has been, man. It has been very toxic. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. So moving on from that, I'm gonna spend too much time on that shit. Staying solid, staying solid. See, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you what staying solid gets you. And I told this story a long time ago, but I'm gonna tell it again because I feel like teaching today. I'm gonna take y'all back to Louisiana. When I was stationed at Fort Polk, Louisiana, many years ago, and I was dealing with this girl down there, man. A lot of these stories got a girl involved, but I had met this girl in WLC. It's called the Warriors Leaders Course, and WLC is a school you got to go to become a sergeant, right? For the people that know anything about the military, So I was going to WLC because I was about to become a sergeant, and boom, I had seen this girl in WLC too, and fine, probably was like 5'5". I mean, the flattest stomach I ever seen in my life, baby Paul. I ain't capping. The flattest stomach, big old legs. She was from Houston, Texas, man. And I remember she looked like she smoked a lot of weed before she joined the military because her lips was a little black and shit. But fine. She had a body like a track runner. But she did run track, so that explains it. She ran track in high school, and she ain't had no kids, none of that. So her stomach was just mad flat. This was the flattest natural stomach that I've seen on a woman. Let me get that clear. The flattest natural stomach, all natural, no, nothing stepped on, right? So boom. So I seen her in WLC, and I didn't step at first. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't step. I was just scoping the scene or whatever. So anyway, I ended up bumping into her. It might have been at the cafeteria. I don't know. We ended up exchanging information or whatever. And then I was like, yeah, shorty, I was checking you out since WFC. Woo, woo, woo. She said, yeah, I seen you. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't say nothing. I said, yeah, you right. And so we started kicking it or whatever, just having lunch a couple times a week. I would see her in the gym with her little crew or whatever. And we was just cool. She stayed in the barracks or whatever. And, like at that time, I had my own house and shit. So she used to come to the crib and just kick it with me or whatever. I went by her barracks room a couple times, but I was anti-barracks. So, and plus at that time I was a sergeant too. So you can't just be dipping up into the barracks as a sergeant now, dealing with the soldiers. Y'all pardon me, man. So boom. I mean, we kicking it. Woo, 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 woo. You know what I'm saying? We bugging. We all at the casinos in Shreveport. We all over Louisiana or whatever. Little country girl, Texas girl. You know what I'm saying? And she was repping H-Town like a motherfucker. And I'm real East Coast out. So it was like an ill energy. It was like an ill energy. You know what I'm saying? She was more laid back. I was just like hyperactive, just real East Coast shit. So we kicking it, man. We spending mad time with each other and shit. And and this was really beyond the sex because we got along better when we wasn't fucking because we was just mad cool. You know what I'm saying? But we did have some good sex too. Like I say, her body was just immaculate. It's immaculate. She had some real tiny little feet. You know what I'm saying? Just a cutie pie all around. But I'm gonna teach y'all a lesson about staying solid. So I was dealing with her for a while. You know what I mean? We might have had a good 5-6 month run. Maybe 5. You know what I'm saying? For real talk. 5-6 month run. So anyway, boom. I remember one day she just dropped off the map. Like I ain't see her no more. Like nowhere. And Fort Polk is only this big, so you see everybody, especially in the clubs or whatever. I ain't see her no more. And I texted her a few times, called her, she ain't pick up. So I'm thinking she went to another duty station. Like she probably just left. And that's how it happens sometimes. You go to another duty station and you got things to do. You ain't really looking behind you. So I'm like, man, I'm thinking, I wish everything the best for her, whatever. So one day I'm driving home. So I'm at the rear light, at the stoplight. And I seen her car because she drove this silver Lincoln, like a Lincoln MKZ or some shit like that. And she didn't recognize me because I just bought a new car at the time. You know what I'm saying? She was used to seeing me in my black car. I had this black Mitsubishi, but then I had bought like a new whip or whatever. So she ain't really recognize me, but I recognized her. And I damn near hit her car, flagging her down. I'm like, yo, parking lot now. Like I'm barking orders. Like you parking lot. You know what I mean? I got people honking their horn behind me. I'm like, shit. So we had rolled up in the dental parking lot. It was like this dental office or whatever on post. I'm like, man, pull over. I'm like, yo, what up with you, man? I ain't seen you in a while, shorty. Woo, 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 woo. And she was real, just relaxed and chill. She was like, yeah, I've been going through some things or whatever. I'm like, word. I'm like, look, I gotta go, but come by the house later and we'll talk. She's like, oh, all right. She barely want to say yeah. She's like, okay, like, whatever. I'm like, I don't know what's going on with this girl. So I'm thinking like maybe a family member died or something. You know, people go through personal shit. I'm like, whatever, right? I'm like, man, come by the house later. We talk about it or whatever. So anyway, probably like 8 o'clock that night, she came to the crib and shit, knocked on the door. I'm like, come in, because I ain't never keep I lived on post. I ain't keep my door locked. I'm like, man, I'm like, sure, you know the door unlocked. You ain't got to knock and shit. We ain't switch up over here. You know what I mean? Come in, man. Fuck you mean, Jones? I ain't even like that. You know what I mean? I ain't even like that. I'm like, come on, Jones. You know what I mean? You know the door unlocked. You know what I'm saying? We don't, no more locked doors. We don't lock doors around here. You know what I mean? That shit pissed. I don't know why that shit made me mad. Like, cause I don't like when people act brand new. I'm like, you've been walking right up in my house for the last 4 months and shit. You know what I mean? Walking right in. I'm all in the shower. I come out the shower. I got somebody laying on my couch. Now all of a sudden you want to. I'm like, come on, Jones. Have a seat, man. So that shit made me mad. What do you mean knocking on the door? I mean, we don't switch it up. We don't switch it up. Anyway, boom. So she came up in the crib and shit. And her whole energy was off. Because before that, she was full of life, man. Just a big ball of joy. Just fun. And I'm like, damn, something must have really happened and shit. So she sat on the couch. I'm like, yo, give me a hug, man. What's up, man? What's going on, Jones? And she like, yeah, you know, she like, I've been going through some personal things. And she like, you know, I talked to my first sergeant. I had to take some time off work. I'm like, what happened? You know, and I'm thinking in my mind, all type of shit. You know what I mean? Just what it could be. I'm just really thinking maybe a family member died. But her mom's had already died when she was young. So I'm thinking like, who could it be? I'm like, whatever, man. So I'm like, tell me. She like, nah, I don't want to tell you. I'm like, shorty, man, we better than that. Tell me. So boom. She like, all right. She was like, she said that I was messing with this guy, this local dude. You know, long story short, like he gave me herpes. I'm like, she crying at this point, like crying like on my shoulder at this point. I'm like, where? She like, yeah, you know, like he gave me herpes and stuff like that. And I ain't even know what to say. This is some Snapple Top facts. I'm like, yo, I just let her cry. I didn't want to say the wrong thing. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't even know what to say, man. I'm like, okay, this is very odd. So anyway, boom. And she crying. I'm like, yo, you know. So at some point, I'm like, all right, you gotta stop crying. Let's talk about it. So I'm like, you sure about this? She said, yeah, you know, when I went to you know, she got a pap smear, whatever the case was, and got her blood work, and she had herpes. And I'm like, did you get a second opinion from like another doctor? She was like, nah. I said, that's what I would do before I'm just making up stuff. I don't even know what to say. Because usually I say the wrong thing. I'm like, well, shit, you made your bed, you got to lay in it. But me and her was real cool. So it was a different type of relationship. I didn't want to just do that. And she already in tears. I'm like, dang. I'm really teaching y'all a lesson here, though. So y'all listen up. So I'm like, well, you know, I mean, we talk. I tried to liven the mood, but it was no livening the mood after that. I'm like, ugh. So anyway, so she went home that night, and so I texted her. I was like, if I was you, I said I would go get a second opinion from a different doctor just to make sure, you know what I mean? And so that was that. And a few days later, I asked her, I was like, did you go and do what I told you to do? She said, yeah. She said it came back positive. She got herpes. And I'm like, I just gave her a quick little pep talk. I'm like, man, you know, life ain't over, man. You just gotta just deal with the reality. Woo, woo. I said what I had to say. She was like, thank you, Boogie. Woo. And here's was the fucked up part. She told some of her little homegirl friends, some of her little friends, and like they spread her business all over posts. And y'all got to keep in mind, the very next morning, I got my car on 2 wheels going to the hospital. I got my blood work the very next morning. I got my shit on 2 wheels. Skirt. I'm like, nah. But she told me, she was like, this was after we stopped messing around or whatever. You think I believe that shit? I had to make sure. But we always use the rubber, but still, you know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. I had my shit on 2 motherfucking wheels the next day. I'm like, yo, I want blood work. I want hair work. I want patch work, motherfucker. I want all the work. Go ahead, give me a whole lab this morning, bitch. So, you know what I mean? I'm like, fuck that. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. I'm like, fuck. So anyway, boom. So I went and got my blood work like motherfucker. My shit came back clean and shit. But and here's was the ill part. She was like real pretty girl, man. Very beautiful girl, man. Tight body, flat stomach. I'm like, damn, man. That's like a waste of beauty, man. Like it's fucked up to say. I mean, it's like a waste of beauty, man. Because mad niggas was trying to get at her on posts. You know how many haters I got? Because she used to roll with Bug. Like, for real. Mad niggas was trying to get at Shorty, man. And they'll see us eating lunch and shit. I used to be chilling and shit. Like, yup, I'm at it again, niggas. I'm at it again, niggas. So anyway, but staying solid. See, because I always stayed solid with Shorty, she kept it real with me. See, a real trifling bitch would have came to my house that night and fucked me on some revenge shit. But she couldn't find it in her heart to do that to a nigga like me because I was a solid nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And that's the lesson in it all. She could have easily came to my crib that night with her fine ass and fucked me all kind of ways and that, you know what I mean? And act like nothing was wrong. She could have easily did that. But I was a solid nigga through and through with Shorty. Solid. You know what I'm saying? I was a solid nigga, man. Come on, Jones. And a lot of niggas don't realize that shit, man. Staying solid, man. It may not pay off the way you wanted to pay off, but at the end of the day, it has its perks, dog. It do. In a situation like that, Shorty could have easily came to the crib and fucked me all kind of ways, man. And I wouldn't have knew nothing about this shit. But staying solid. And niggas be like talking all this wild shit. I'm like, nigga, do you know how many people would just be upset and mad and they would have gave that shit to somebody and everybody that they could because they pissed off? But when you solid and when you left a real impression on somebody's life, man, they gonna spare you sometimes, man. Not always, but they more likely to spare you when you solid than you not. Imagine if I would have fucked Shorty over and lied to her, manipulated her, and never kept her the buck with her. She could have easily came to my house that night with some lingerie on and got me all worked up and fucked me all kind of ways and shit. But niggas don't be seeing this shit because niggas be so caught up in what they caught up in. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dog, you got to slow down out here, dog. You know what I'm saying? Just because a woman got her legs open don't mean you got to take it, nigga. But niggas ain't going to tell you that side of the game. It's a different side of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Shorty spared me and shit, man. Because that shit could have got real wicked. Don't get it twisted. I had my car on 2 wheels the next morning. But at the end of the day, that's how I see it. And at that moment, I knew I'm doing something right. You know what I'm saying? That's why I just do what I do and I flow how I flow. Because I understand what life is, man. I understand how shit can get real dirty and trifling and nasty out here. And if you stay solid, though, if you stay solid to the right ones, and if you hold it down, yeah, one of them. That's my lesson on that shit, man. And it's not to shit on the girl or whatever. She got what she got. You know what I'm saying? the decisions that she made, she got what she got. But the point is, I'm talking about me and staying solid. And she knew that I was a solid nigga. She wouldn't have told me that if I wasn't a solid nigga. She could have easily not even came to my crib that night. Or like I say, she could have came to my crib with some lingerie on because her body was immaculate and fucked me all kind of ways. But she chose to be honorable with me. With me. I'm speaking on with me. I can't speak on what the girl do with another nigga. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak on that. You dig? I can't speak on that, but Shorty decided to be honorable with me. And I can salute that shit. And she spared me. Me and her used to have some wild sex too. But truth be told though, ain't like we fucked a bunch of times. Like me and her was more cool out the bedroom. I'm gonna be honest. We was more cool out the bedroom. That was just my little H-Town snuggle bunny, man. That's what I used to call her. My little snuggle bunny. Because she was just mad cool. Like we used to be laughing and tripping. So we had that type of relationship, almost like I ain't gonna say a big brother, but she kind of looked at me like a big brother. What's going on, Smith and West? She almost looked at me like a probably like a big brother or something type motherfucker that she had a crush on or something. Like we just was mad cool, and I kind of looked at her like a little sister too, because I used to give a mad game on life. I mean, she wasn't getting promoted and shit until she met me. I mean, Shorty wasn't fixing her credit or nothing until she met me. You know what I mean? Real talk. She wasn't buying new cars and doing certain things until she met me. And I used to just give a mad game on life and shit. And the little bit of resources I had, I put her on with. Like, nah, do it like this, do it like this. And she was able to see the work and her life and shit. So she kept it a buck with a nigga. And that shit meant a lot, man. Because like I said, she could have easily came and put the woo on me or whatever. And hit me with the woo wop. You know what I'm saying? She could have easily hit a nigga with the woo wop, but she didn't. And I felt like that was some honorable shit. I did. Because a lot of people, they get out here and they want revenge because of what happened to them. But when you solid in this shit, man, when you try your best to stay clean, and this is a dirty game, and we all got on all white. We trying to stay clean in a dirty game, wearing all white. You know how hard that is to do. But when you stay as solid as you can, not perfect, solid. That's two different things, my motherfucker. Ain't about being perfect. It's about being solid. And when you solid though, you never know how your gift's gonna come back on you. You know what I'm saying? And like a lot of niggas is mad. Like it go to the title of the show. Here's why men and women can't stand each other. Let me put y'all on some real shit. Y'all hit that like button for me, y'all. You want to donate to the channel? Y'all can hit me up on Cash App. $ BaltimoreBoogie. Y'all can hit me up on Cash App. Like, here's the thing. A lot of men are upset at women because a lot of dudes is like this. The women didn't want me when I was in a certain condition. That bothers a lot of men. Let's say a man going through some hardships of life. He don't have a car at that time. He don't have a vehicle. Let's say he in between jobs and his paper ain't right. Or let's say, going back to your school days, like a nigga came to school with some bullshit on his feet. The girl ain't even noticed you, but you came to school the next week with some Jordans on, and she was all on your dick. A lot of niggas don't like that, and a lot of men take that shit personally. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. It's like the girl ain't want you when you was on the bus stop, but when you came through with that Benz or that Range Rover shit or whatever you pushing, all of a sudden she was smiling at you, and it's like, well, I mean, do a woman supposed to see you on a bus. I mean, seriously. Like, a lot of men got to understand that one of the reasons men strive so hard for success is to obtain the women we want. I'm going to be honest. That's one of the reasons. Like, that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons a lot of men want to be rich so they can fuck top shelf pussy. Let's just keep it real. The same women niggas complain about, that's who niggas want to fuck. The Instagram models, the women, the video models, the video girls. Niggas want to smut them out too. Be honest about it. Same women niggas complaining about too. And that's the ill part. The same women they complaining about. The women that got all the surgery and all that shit. I mean, they talking about this and that. And that's the same women niggas want to smash too. I just find it very odd. But so essentially, when you on a bus stop, she ain't supposed to notice you until you get a Range Rover. That's one of the perks of life, is to get the kind of pussy you want. But it just been like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, go back to your high school days, and maybe your family didn't have a lot of money for a couple seasons, and you have some bullshit on your feet. Let's be honest, being fresh in high school is important. Let's keep it real, dog. It's very important. Getting fresh. I know it was for me. I used to work in a shopping mall in high school. I got my little paycheck, I cashed it. I used to go right to the shoe store. It was what it was. My 11th grade year, I had dry dick, and that was one of the reasons. My paper wasn't right. I wasn't getting fresh. Well, like, we wore uniforms that year, so it was kind of shaky anyway, but still, I had some bullshit on my feet. And I had a long conversation with myself that summer. And I told myself, never again. I got my paper right. I got my mind right. But more importantly, I didn't let that shit stain my brain. I went into my senior year. I said, fuck it. I would rather be irritated with the girl than without the girl. In my senior year, I had two of the finest chicks in school. This is a Snapple top facts, man. I had Michelle and I had Joy. Joy, easily top 2 or 3 in the whole senior class. Bad. Red bone, hair all the way down to her fucking back, hair all the way down to her ass crack, little slender little joint, pretty white teeth, banging. And I had to step. And then Michelle was my little muffin baby. She was like top 5 in the 11th grade class. And I'm fucking with these chicks at the same time, my senior year. Do you know what kind of pep talk I had that junior year, nigga? I had to strip myself butt naked, pause, and be honest with myself. Like, yo, I'm not even being serious, man. Why should a woman want to fuck with me? I got some bullshit on my feet. You know what I'm saying? I ain't getting fresh. You know what I mean? Just the basics wasn't covered. I ain't getting fresh. My confidence is shaky at best. So I had to deal with that in the mirror, dog. Just being honest. I had to deal with that shit in the mirror, dog. And it was rough. But I bounced back my senior year. I had dry dick my junior year. I'm watching lame niggas take the girls I want, get mad pussy. I'm like, yo, what is going on? But I wasn't broke. I didn't have the essentials covered. I didn't have the basics covered, man. I didn't. I'm living in East Baltimore. I'm going to a high school in West Baltimore. Beside my cousins, I ain't know nobody. My shit wasn't flowing right. I told myself, man, I ain't never letting this shit happen to me again, dog. By any means necessary, whatever it takes. Man, my senior year, man, I bounced right back on them hoes, nigga. There ain't nowhere hit them. I came out the gate swinging. First day of school. I'm stepping. I ain't give. And I ain't just stepped. I stepped to the finest girls in school, nigga. I had to make up for the 11th grade year. Since then, I never looked back. But it just was what it was. It just was what it was. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't develop no bad attitude toward the girls. Wasn't supposed to like me, man. I had some bullshit on my feet, dog. The girls wasn't supposed to like me my junior year. They wasn't supposed to. Because niggas was coming to school fresh. Niggas had cars and certain things. They had the shit that the girls wanted, dog. End of, man. Ain't no sense of complaining about it. The competition was thick. Oh, you got to compete. I'm going to be honest. You got to compete, dog. So, in the competition sense of things, I wasn't even there for the competition. I wasn't even in the competition. I was on the sideline. I had some bullshit on my feet. I just ain't care. You know what I mean? I wasn't getting my hair cut the way I should. I don't know. I guess I was going through some personal shit. I don't know. But I remember I just had dry dick, man. That shit haunt me to this day. Like, I ain't never going back there, man. That shit was bullshit, man. That shit get lonely, man. I'm watching lesser men get the girls I wanted. Yeah, I said it. Lesser men. I'm watching lesser men get the girls I wanted. That I knew I was better than these niggas. In my heart of heart, oh man, I'm better than these niggas. I'm more thorough than these niggas. But I was out of sync. Shit just wasn't flowing right. It just wasn't flowing right. Like, I had to have a long talk with myself, man, over that summer, dog. Okay, well, how can I prevent this from happening again? Nigga, on Friday nights when everybody at the parties and everybody going on double and triple dates and everybody meeting up, man, and you hanging out by yourself, man, that shit whack. To me, I'm speaking by myself, that shit whack. Just being honest, that shit corny. You know how lonely that shit get? Let's be honest, man. You know how whack that shit is? You sitting up in your room watching porn. While niggas is out enjoying everything life got to offer. And you mad at them because they live in life. And you mad at them. You mad at the girls. And you mad at the boys that the girls is digging. When the reality is, dog, I ain't even come to compete. That's the reality. I ain't even come to compete. You know what I'm saying? I should have came to compete. End of, motherfucker. Shit ain't hard. This shit ain't rocket science. Ain't no sense of complaining. Ain't no sense of getting upset about it. Oh, like, what, I'm gonna hate the girls forever because they like the nigga with a car, because they like the nigga with some fresh feet, or that nigga might have been more handsome, or whatever the case is. No, nigga, you got to compete. You got to be a stepper. Fuck out of here. That shit made me better. I'm glad I went through that. I'm glad I went through that year. I thank God for that 11th grade year. That shit put me under fourth quarter pressure. Like, what's going on? Like I say, my senior year, I bounced right back on them hoes, nigga. dating two of the prettiest girls in school at the same time. Niggas ain't never see a turnaround like that. You know what I'm saying? We talking about within a summer. Within a summer. I calibrated my shit. But I had to get my mind right. Half the battle is getting your mind right. It's getting your dome straight. Like my nigga Melvin said. See, little nigga, I ain't had my dome straight. You know, shot a couple niggas. Cut a couple niggas. Shot up some folk. But I ain't had my dome straight. That's half the battle. Guns and butter, nigga. See, little nigga, I ain't had my dome straight. That's half the battle, dog. Guns and butter, nigga. And that's what Melvin tried to teach these little bitch ass niggas. I ain't had my dome straight. Facts, man. That's what Melvin tried to teach these little bitch ass niggas. About guns and butter. Niggas ain't want to listen to Melvin. I ain't had my dome straight. And I was half the battle, really getting my dome straight. Do you know what that can do to a young man? When you walk around with dry dick, first of all, so you ain't fucking. You ain't fucking. That's for one. And you watching lesser men get the girls you want. You watching lesser men get the girls you want. And you damn near invisible to the girls. And then the girls that like you, you can't even get the words out because your mind, because your dome ain't straight. Fuck that. I was better than that. I ain't never go since I started fucking in the 8th grade. Young nigga with this shit. Since I started fucking, I ain't never go without. I ain't never had no dry dick like that. I ain't had my dome straight. Fuck out of here. Shit turned me into, man, come on, man. That shit still haunt me, man. Them lonely ass Friday and Saturday nights, man. I used to like playing hooky from school with chicks or whatever. That's what you do when you're young. You play hooky. To get a little nookie, gotta have your dome straight. Fuck out of here, man. So at the end of the day, I don't want to hear nothing from no fucking incel. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I've been there, done that. But I had to get my shit together. Motherfuckers act like they're the only ones that been through shit in life, man. That shit kill me with these bitch ass niggas sometimes, man. For real. That shit really fucks me up with these bitch ass niggas sometimes, man. I'm like, nigga, you gotta get your dome straight. Or you feel entitled to some pussy? You got to compete. Motherfucker, we go to city school. We go to public school, nigga. This shit real. You gotta check a lot of boxes, nigga. This shit gladiator school. Gladiator school, nigga. I'm not saying that is right. I'm saying it is what it is. So you gonna compete or you gonna not compete. It's up to you. But ain't no sense of complaining. It wasn't no complaining on the streets of Baltimore, nigga. No, you got to go compete. You gonna complain to the girls? Man, some of the girls was tougher than the boys. Are you serious? No, you gotta get it. Fuck out of here. That's why I don't be trying to hear that shit. You gotta get your dome straight. Gotta get your dome straight. I had to get my dome straight. That shit fucked up my psyche. To the point I ain't even want to come outside. Like, I lost my whole exuberance. I lost my mojo fucking around with that 11th grade year. Shit almost sent me into permanent purgatory. Real shit. Imagine if I didn't get back on that horse and keep riding. That shit would have put me into a mental prison. I'm like, yo, this can't be life. This can't be life. And get your dome straight. Start up here. You gotta have the right attitude toward these things. Guns and butter, nigga. Guns and butter, nigga. For real. At the end of the day, niggas might not like what I'm saying. I don't give two fucks because I'm speaking some real shit. I know what the fuck I'm talking about, man. That 11th year was horrific. I couldn't even focus. I ain't learned shit that whole year. You think I'm gonna focus in school with dry dick? I'm beating my dick before high school. Man, that shit was whack. I couldn't even focus. I don't remember nothing I learned that whole year. I'm like, I'm better than this. I'm better than this. That's all I kept thinking. I'm better than this. Maybe I was depressed. I don't remember. Shit just wasn't flowing right for your boy, man. I don't know. Shit just wasn't flowing right. You know what I'm saying? In public schools, like I say, man, public schools was rough, dog. It's gladiator school, nigga. Gladiator school. If you can get a girl and maintain a girl in public school, you got a good foundation to build on, man. That shit get real rough. And I remember back then, right? This is real Snapple Top facts. Back then, dog, it was a dangerous thing going in other niggas' hoods trying to holler at their girls. You know what I mean? Niggas got killed over that type of shit, dog. That's a major violation. I don't think I really understand. That's a major violation. That's why when niggas was up in my chat room and I was talking about El Paso and how the Mexican dudes couldn't stand when the black men used to be up in the clubs taking their girls, I'm like, nigga, it's like that in black neighborhoods. At least when I was coming up. Are you serious? You know how dangerous that was? I used to be coming from East Baltimore to West Baltimore. Nigga, you get killed like that. Niggas was getting robbed and all that. Nigga, run them pockets. If you wasn't a name brand nigga for real, or a motherfucker be like, shorty cool when you get the pass or whatever, because that's what you really need essentially is a pass. How do you get a pass? One, if you was an athlete. Because if you was an athlete, you was kind of known around the city a little bit. If you was an athlete, you was good. You know, if you come from a prominent family or whatever, that'll help you out if you come from a prominent family. If your squabbles is mean, but that shit don't mean nothing in another nigga hood because them niggas is deep as hell. So even your squabble game ain't gonna get you a pass. You just had to be a genuine cool nigga. Because here's the thing, believe it or not, some of these niggas in these neighborhoods really cared about those girls. It wasn't all about the competition of the pussy. They watched these little girls grow up from little girls to young women. And they not just gonna let a nigga from another hood come and just, you know, run amok. But if you was a solid dude, you'll get a pass. I got plenty of passes. But I knew niggas that got killed over this shit, bro. You can't be running amok in a nigga's hood. I'm sorry. Though rules are rules. I don't make these motherfuckers. But that was a dangerous thing to do back in the day. It was dangerous, man. I was there. I heard the horror stories. Niggas getting robbed and all that shit. So if you was able to go from different hoods and all that type of shit, and you was solid, and the niggas that rent that block gave you a pass, because they gonna ask you, shorty, what you doing around here? They could tell by the way you walk, you ain't from that block. They ain't never seen you. You're like, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I came up here to see Kim. I mean, fuck you doing seeing Kim? Woo, woo, woo. They gonna hit you with the woo wop. Nigga, you better make your next move your best move, nigga. Like, nah, like I know her from school, man. Like, that's my girlfriend. You got to stand on that business. Because they gonna hit you with the woo wop. I've been pressed in other niggas' hoods. Been pressed by niggas. Big niggas, small niggas, medium-sized niggas. Niggas with guns on them. Niggas without guns. Hustlers. Niggas that look like they killed niggas. All that type of shit, man. They gonna hit you with the woo-wop. What you gonna do? But you know what? Even the girl know you got pressed. But if you stood on something, that'll get you over the hump too. That's just another form of a shit test right there. If you can walk through another nigga hood and they gave you a pass because you was solid, yeah, you already got some points. You already got some points. I mean, because even the girls know this shit dangerous. You walking, nigga, that back then, nigga, please. I don't know how it is now because social media and all that. But yeah, that shit was dangerous, dog. Dangerous. And then to get to the point, you coming around so much, you just be cool with them niggas. They already know what you there to do. Like, oh, I see you back. Yeah, nigga, I'm back, nigga. I'm back like I never left, motherfucker. Get used to this face, nigga. But yeah, that shit was dangerous, nigga. I've been pressed walking through niggas' hoods with a backpack on and shit. Looking stupid and goofy. But you there to see the girl, nigga. Fuck, you gonna act like a bitch? Nigga, please. You got to stand on that business, man. I'm telling you, man. Gladiator school. Gladiator school for the savages, man. How you going freak it? What you gonna do? Guns and butter. Nigga Melvin tried to tell these bitch ass niggas, guns and butter. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Guns and butter, nigga. So, end of the day, I've been through gladiator school with this shit, bro. Gladiator school, man. Early. Some niggas' hoods I did not go in. I'm just gonna say that very clear. All in the projects? Nah. If a girl told me she lived in the projects, she got to meet me somewhere. Or she got to come to my spot. I'm being honest. Lexington Terrace, all that type of shit, man. Fuck that. I'm being honest, man. If a girl told me she lived in the projects, Murphy Homes, nope. I'm being dead ass, man. I'm being dead serious. I ain't going. I got to see some houses, bitch. That project shit, I'm be honest. I did, because some of these shits is one way in, one way out, man. And then you got to walk through hallways and elevators. And fuck, are you serious, man? So if a girl, it's just certain shit. It's a thing called common sense, people. Use it sometime. You know what I mean? So if a girl told me she lived in the Jacks, she either had to come see me, yeah, Cherry Hill, all that shit. Fuck that. She either had to come see me or meet me somewhere. This is Snapple Top. Other than that, I'm sorry, boo-boo. So once you start talking about that project shit, I'm sorry. I wasn't going. But, some neighborhoods, I just, it was no point because I knew what them niggas was on. So it's a thing called common sense, people. But yeah, it just was a dangerous time back then, man. I'm being honest, man. Shit was very hardcore, man. Hardcore. And you know what the funny part about it? Anytime you was going up in another nigga hood to see a girl, none of your homeboys wanted to go with you sometime. Maybe if she got a friend. But then again, that's even more dangerous coming around 2 and 3 deep. It's better off going by yourself. Excuse me. It was better off going by yourself, kind of think about it. Because just imagine if you rolled up there like 3, 4, 5 deep. I used to always go by myself and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes it'd be like me and my nigga Kenny, if it's 2 of them. But we'll come in a very non-threatening manner. That's how it was. And when other niggas came around our way, we had to press them niggas. Here, come here, let me holler at you. Is this the way, is this the laws of the land? You got press, you press niggas. You know what I'm saying? Ain't about no hating shit. Ain't about being no simp. It's how it is. Yeah. Come here. Yeah, you going to see little Shamika? Now, we know everything about Shamika. We know who she fucking, who she not fucking. We ain't going to tell him that. But we just trying to make sure, everything on point. Like, yeah, are you going to see little Shamika, huh? Okay. Okay, what's your name, dog? Oh, your name Rock. Where you from, man? I'm from down the hill. Okay. Yeah, yo, my man Little Nut down there and shit, man. You know him? And my man D Love too and shit. Oh, yeah, like Love? Yeah, that's my nigga, my man D Love and shit. You know what I'm saying? All right, man, you good, man. I just want to make sure you straight, yo. Yo, man, you looking for some trees? Nah, man, I don't smoke. All right. Yo, if you ever need some trees, man, just knock on that door right there. You know what I mean? You just got to do that. You just wasn't walking through niggas' hoods like that, bro. I'm sorry. I don't know what these little niggas was doing now. Back then, you was not walking through niggas' hoods like that. It was contact. It wasn't always physical. I'm sorry. You just wasn't, nigga. Nah, you wasn't. Niggas gonna try to sell you something, or niggas gonna try to take something. Or then you got niggas that just want to make sure you are who you say you are. Are you serious? You wasn't walking through niggas' hoods like that? Hell nah. It wasn't that type of party, bro. That shit was very dangerous, man. So if you was one of those ones that got a pass, it was something about you that was official. Like, all right, we ain't gonna fuck him up. Because every nigga couldn't do that, bro. I'm sorry. Every nigga couldn't do. You know how many stories I've heard of niggas going home barefoot? Every nigga couldn't do that, bro. Hit them niggas with the woo-wop. I'm sorry, man. So, and Baltimore is a small city, so a lot of people know each other. A lot of people know each other and shit. So, if you was a name brand nigga, you was all right. You know what I'm saying? If you had a prominent cousin or brother or something, I mean, you was pretty much good, but I'm sorry, dog. If you wasn't a reputable dude, or if you wasn't down for yours, that was rough. That was rough, man. And then it depends on the girl you coming to see too. For real. You coming to see the wrong girl, that might cause some problems. So you got a lot of different politics, but gladiator shit, man. For real. Gladiator shit. I ain't capping. It's like going to like a high school football game. You go to a high school football game, nigga. You got the girls that was representing the other school. If you wasn't all on their side or whatever, you had to be with some name brand dudes to do that, man. Everybody couldn't do that. So there's always that kind of, it's not even cock blocking. See, a lot of niggas like, oh, they simping, they cock blocking. No, it ain't. That's how niggas are. Dog, I'm a little older now, but if I was a young nigga still living that life and it was mad niggas coming in, let's say I owned a house on a specific block or neighborhood and mad niggas was coming through to try to get at the girls, I'm putting an end to that shit at some point. I'm just being honest, man. How was that simping? That ain't simping in my book. Niggas say, I'm putting an end to that shit. It's just principles with me. My mind ain't thinking about no simping shit. It's just principles. Like, hold the fuck up, man. These niggas think this shit is a fucking drive-through. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's just man shit, bro. It's just man shit. Like, another man is not gonna let another man just roll through his neighborhood like that. Especially when you know it's about the girl. I'm sorry. It's just principles. That ain't no simp shit. It's just regular shit. I'm sorry, nigga. I would put an end to that, man. Like, hold up, man. At some point, man, we got to keep these niggas the fuck up out of here, man. This ain't no drive-through, dog. That's just how I feel about it. Couple niggas you'll let through, but if it's like a constant shit like a freeway, hell nah. Hell nah. Then them niggas get to dropping babies over there in your neighborhood, ain't taking care of them. Nah, I already see. I foresee what that shit can turn into. Fuck that. It gotta be some regulation. It gotta be some regulation. That's all it is regulation. That's all it is. You can't have them niggas coming through with no resistance. Are you serious? You can't have them niggas coming through without no resistance. Fuck that, man. That nigga gonna be trying to do what he want. Next thing you know, he gonna be setting up shop in your neighborhood. Nigga walking around your neighborhood with his slippers on. Too comfortable. Too comfortable. Way too comfy for me, man. I'm sorry. It gotta be some regulation somewhere, man. It has to be. Next thing you know, them niggas coming through with basketball shorts and Nike flip-flops. Hold on, blood. I'm sorry, hold on. Hey, yo, come here, Jones. Let me holler at you real quick, Jones. Like, it's just the principle. I don't even want a nigga too comfy. It ain't even about the girl. It's about the nigga. Because I know niggas. Niggas get too comfortable. Next thing you know, they selling weed around you. Nah. Next thing you know, he trying to sell niggas in that neighborhood weed. Like, yo, I got that Zaza. What, nigga? Hold up, nigga. Are you serious? I just met you last week. Now you come around here selling weed? No, you got to put an end to that. Nigga, like, yeah, man, I got that Zaza. What? That's why you got to check that shit at the door. Like, yo, this nigga way too comfortable, man. Way too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? For real. This nigga way too comfy, man. You got to check that shit, dog. You got to check that shit, Jones. I ain't lying to you, man. You got to check that shit, man. Because I know niggas, they'll get to coming through blasting music, dropping babies over there, bringing their homies with them. Nah, it has to be a level of resistance to keep it regulated. You know what I'm saying? I'm being honest. So, that's how it is. That's how it is, man. Motherfuckers ain't just let anybody walk through your neighborhood like that, man. That's a fairly new thing. For real. That's a fairly new thing. You know what I'm saying? That's a new thing. Real talk. It is. I don't know nothing about that, man. I don't know nothing about that. That's new. And that ain't simping. That's just man shit. You got to give a little resistance sometimes. Like, hold on, yo, why this dude just walking through here like that? Because it's just inherently in the man to regulate. Let's be honest. It's just inherently in the man to know what's going on. Have his hands in shit. You know what I'm saying? So if you a man and you really don't give a fuck about what's going on, that says a lot about your character. It could be some niggas parked down the street. You want to know who them niggas is. You asking everybody, hey, yo, come here, Jones. Like, yo, who them niggas down there? Yo, you just asking questions. You got to know your surroundings. That's a man. How the fuck is that simping? But niggas be so underdeveloped in their mind, all they think about is the girls and the pussy. Like, oh, man, you simping. No, nigga. The man shit. Fuck you mean? If niggas is parked down there in the car in the Cadillac for 30 minutes, nigga ain't move, I got to know who that is, Jones. I'm asking questions. I might just go up to the car, tap on the window. Yo, Jones, I mean, like, y'all good? Like, y'all need something? All right, just make it. I mean, you got to know these things. Why wouldn't you do that? That's the question. Why wouldn't you know that's me? You know, like, why them dudes was down there in that car? You know what I mean? For real. That's my thing, man. That's my thing. So at the end of the day, it got to be a little bit of resistance, man. Like, but yeah, like I say, that was some dangerous shit walking through niggas' hoods back in the day, man. That was some Very, very dangerous, man. Very, very dangerous. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, that's just the politics of it and shit. Niggas always gonna be overprotective over the women. That's just come with the territory. Here's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So, ain't about no extortion or nothing, but that's just how it was. Hard to explain. Hard to explain. But whatever. You know what I'm saying? I was there. But yeah, but that's why a lot of guys is upset, because the girls didn't really want them, when guys was in a down season. And like I say, man, I've had down seasons, man. I had a couple. I've had a few, man, down seasons where you ain't calibrated. You ain't in sync. I've had down seasons and shit. Just gotta get back on that horse, dog. Just gotta get back on that horse, man. I've had down seasons, man. So my thing is just no need to get upset. That's all I'm saying. There's no need to get upset about a lot of that type of stuff, man. You just do what you gotta do, man. You get better and you compete. Or you don't compete, but you deal with the consequences, though. That's my thing. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's it for the day, ladies and gentlemen. Quick little chop up. Shout out to the moderators, man. Shout out to the supporters. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. Enjoy your weekend. And y'all follow me on Instagram at Dime Game Division. Follow me on Instagram at Dime Game Division. And that's all I got. If you want to donate to the channel, you can donate through Cash App or PayPal. Cash App, $BaltimoreBoogie. I appreciate anything. But we out. Enjoy the rest of your day, y'all. Peace.